Welcome to part 5 of the Globe Trekker Habitat Build tutorial series. For a complete playlist, find a link in the description of this video, and be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more information, updates, and new products. At Globe Trekker, we engineered your build to be quick and easy. The only difficult parts are the large panels that can be too heavy for just 2 people. Fortunately, the rest of this build can be accomplished with a minimal crew of 2. In part 5 of this tutorial, we will show you how to install a departure angle rear panel. If you are building a rectangular habitat, rest easy, for simplicity is on your side. Instructions for the rectangular habitat rear panel installation are also included. Start by removing 6 inches of the plastic film on the rear of the interior and exterior side panel edges. Use small pieces of tape to keep the plastic out of the way, and wipe them down with alcohol wipes. Wipe down all of the vertical rear wall extrusions with alcohol wipes, ensuring both channels in each extrusion are clean and dry. Identify the rear wall extrusion and begin to prepare it by removing 6 to 8 inches of the protective plastic film around the edges of the panel. Then ready the vertical panel extrusions for a dry fit test. Allow 2 1/4 inch clearance for the top of the rear panel to fit inside the rear roof extrusion. Conduct a dry fit of the rear panel. If your habitat was built on rolling dollies, ensure to block the wheels from rolling forward. Once the fit is confirmed, glue the vertical rear wall extrusions into the rear wall with 4 beads of Sikaflex. Also apply glue to the rear wall extrusions that slide into both sidewall panels, leaving a 2 1/4 inch clearance at the top of the rear wall. An improvised jack or temporary A-frame support will aid in getting and keeping the rear panel into place. Place a ratcheting strap in the center of the rear portion of the roof panel and attach it to the scrap piece of extrusion that you use to pull your sidewalls into place. This strap will be employed to keep the rear wall from sliding out of place. Once the wall is secure, begin to complete the multi-seal process by caulking the upper gap in between extrusions. Remember, some gap is good, no gap is not as good. Next, attach the departure angle extrusions that are angle cut without gluing them in place. Secure the extrusion into place using the 80-20 bracketing provided, but again, do not glue these into place. In this part of the build process, the departure angle extrusion is there to ensure the rear wall is correctly positioned. Allow the rear wall glue to set overnight or longer if in a cool, damp area. With a rectangular habitat with no departure angle, the rear panel bottom extrusion is also glued to the rear panel. Remember to fill all 4 glue channels in each extrusion slot, including both inside and outside of every extrusion corner. The entire rear wall will then be ratchet strapped, pulled into place into the roof panel slot until the bottom extrusion slot can be slid onto the floor panel. Once the rear wall is in place, you may need to use additional ratchet straps to pull the panel into place. Remember to leave a small gap in between the aluminum extrusions. Now would be a good time to clean up any excess and oozing Sikaflex with alcohol wipes and/or rags.
You want it to ooze out. It's not a bad thing to have a little bit of a gap for your Sikaflex because Sikaflex likes a little gap, not no gap. So if there's no gaps in anything, you actually have a weaker joint than if you actually have a little bit of a gap and put Sikaflex in there to bond the surfaces together. Fabrication tolerances, it's actually intended so you might have a little bit of a gap. That's an okay thing, it's actually better.
While you are waiting for the rear wall glue to set, it would be a great time to start marking out your door and window positions. It is also very helpful to use the cardboard that comes with the door and windows packaging material to make your own templates.
Now, in addition to the sizing requirements, the radius requirements, there's also clearance requirements for blinds, for the sunscreen, for a variety of things like that, blackout screens. So read the instructions, understand them. We will go through some videos here showing you how to put these together.
Begin to mark out your habitat openings, in particular the door opening. You will need an opening in the habitat in order to install the departure angle panel. A detailed door and window print can be requested through Globe Trekker for an additional fee. Mark the door penetration where your door will be located. Measure twice and cut once. For the best results in the placement of a door, we recommend that the door be placed where the stair system can be installed and that the hinge side of the door is next to or close to a vertical aluminum wall extrusion. We will go over a detailed door and window cutout procedure in another tutorial video. You have now completed part 5 of the Globe Trekker Habitat build tutorial. For a complete playlist of this tutorial and other helpful tutorials, educational, and product review videos, see the description of this video. Included are links to our website for even more product information, pricing, how to order, and a contact form to start a dialogue with a Globe Trekker representative.